Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Scotty G joins me today, and we talk about my Disney Destiny cruise just last week. The new ship in the Disney Cruise Line fleet is here, and I talk about sailing out of Fort Lauderdale for the first time. A little bit of fun we had in the town the night before the cruise, where we stayed. That was the Hilton Marina, and the 4-night sailing to Castaway Cay with 2 sea days. We talk about the staterooms, the dining, the small things you do on the ship, like the tastings and more. So if you want to know about this ship and what not to miss, if you're sailing the Destiny anytime soon, we've got you covered on today's show. Don't forget, today's podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure. The best part, no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link as you do that final holiday shopping. Just click through our link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You're the all-stars that keep us on the air, so thank you so very much to each and every one of you. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2416 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend as the college football playoffs kick off. Lots of good games this weekend and hopefully some nice weather where you are around the country and around the world. And we're going to get it started with some fun Disney talk and some Disney Cruise Line talk. And no better person to talk Disney Cruise Line with than my brother from another mother from Must See Adventures up in Michigan, Scotty G, joining me to kick off the weekend. Scott, what's going on? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy weekend. People don't know this, but you always send a text message every Friday to the podcast group. And I still don't understand what it is, but I know it makes you happy, and that's all that matters.
It does make me happy. It's this guy I follow from he used to play football at the University of Georgia, and
but he's not the one in the video though.
No, he's not, but he tweets it out, and so I see it in my Twitter feed every Friday. I've seen it for like a year and a half, and I've been seeing it forever, right? And every time I saw it, it just made me happy. It's this dude. It's these 2 dudes riding in a car, and I'm guessing they're in Africa, right? I don't even know. I don't know the genesis of this little 45-second video either, but it's these 2 dudes. I guess they're riding in a car in Africa. The one guy turns to the other guy and goes, "We're here, right?" And the one guy goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And then he starts. It's Friday, then it's Saturday, Sunday. What? And the one guy gets out of the car and starts dancing. It does this cool dance, all the way down the road with the door open. And it's just a crazy dance. And it just makes me happy.
It makes you happy. Exactly. You send it to me every Friday.
I send it to my 2 families. I send it to you, Pam, and Ricky. And I send it to my girls. And all of you, you guys receive it a lot, but my girls just never respond. Ever respond. I don't even think they open it. But I send it every Friday. Paige occasionally will. Pam and Mallory never.
Pam Forster is a good sport. She sends a respond every time you send it.
So every once in a while, you guys give me a thumbs up and it warms my heart. But I want you to know every Friday, I hope you're having a good start to your weekend and I'm thinking about you guys. So that's my way of saying you're my family. I appreciate y'all. Have a good weekend.
That's well, happy Friday indeed. So we're talking cruising today. So I'm wearing my Mickey bucket hat, which I'm a big fan of. And I put on this Michigan Dad Wolverine shirt. I'm so surprised for those watching that Mike didn't comment that I'm wearing a Michigan shirt because he knows I'm a Spartan, but I pay that Michigan tuition for a very special.
I'm treading lightly with the Michigan thing still.
I know. But last year, do you remember our friend Paul from Jersey? He sent me that captain's Lions hat, which I thought was super nice. Because he knows I love sailing, the yacht rock thing, Detroit Lions. It was great. Well, just today, I got another hat in the mail from Paul.
No way.
And I knew we were talking Disney Cruise Line today. So I was like, I have to wear it for this episode. So I'm going to put the Mickey bucket hat aside for a little bit and put
Okay,
on.
Here we go. Here we go.
I knew Michigan.
Shut up. No way. No way. Oh my God.
So
He's
thank
got
you,
the
Paul, for the
Wolverine.
hat. He said in the Christmas card, I know this is painful for you a little bit. I never thought I'd be sending you Michigan gear in the mail, but thank you, Paul, from Jersey. I love it. And here I am. I'm all in Michigan right now as we talk about the Disney Destiny.
You know, that's a Block M. That could actually be a Mizzou captain's hat because they stole our Block M back in the day.
I think Michigan's the originator of the
I don't know.
M.
No, rumor has it Mizzou had it first. That's what we say.
We'll have to take some research. I'm pretty sure Michigan.
No, I
has,
think we had it first. That's what we say. I'm just saying
That's what you say.
That's I think that's how it is. But we're not going to go into that today. But that looks great. And shout out to Paul for that awesome hat. Now I got to tell you, because we are going to talk about the Disney Destiny cruise, but that brings me back to the first story of the cruise. I packed my captain's hat for the cruise, and it just stayed on the shelf the entire cruise. And Pam asked me, like, Mike, what's the deal with the captain's hat? Why have you not had the captain's hat on? I'm like, well, it's not the same without my boy. Like, I can't really wear the captain's hat without a crew. Like, it's just not cool.
That's fair though, Mike. I feel you on that a little bit.
I just never felt right wearing the captain's hat. Like,
yeah, I usually wear it like the first day, I wore the Lions one on the fantasy because like Thanksgiving week, they're playing in a couple days, and I'm telling you, the crew must have been off a little bit because this is the first time ever where I didn't have like a crew member acknowledge the hat.
Right?
Because doesn't it happen like 25 times?
Oh yeah, a day? And that is the worst, dude. If you wear a captain's hat and people aren't like, Captain, if you're not getting
they
like,
expect
people
you to say
you,
something,
yes.
like at ease or like like
yeah,
I don't even know what to say half the time.
If you're
Aren't
not
you supposed to be piloting the ship?
Yeah.
I'm like,
get to the bridge. Why weren't you at the bridge? Exactly. Yeah, so there's something wrong there. But yeah, I will say the Wish class ships have so much storage, like so many places to put hats and stuff. I had, especially when you had, because we were in a 4A, so we had like the deluxe family ocean view with verandas. We had the big one that had the Murphy bed that wasn't pulled down. So I had like this, I called it the dance floor out past the couch where the bed would be pulled down, just an empty space. And so I was, I'd use that to dance or whatever I wanted to. And so we had all these places to put stuff. And I had this whole hat section because I had like 20 hats I brought. But the captain's hat just sat there the whole cruise, never got worn. And Pam was like, "Are you ever going to wear the captain's hat?" I'm like, I don't feel like I can. Like I
appreciate for that because like, I would have liked to seen you wearing it, but like that means a lot to me that now
if you'd have been there, dude,
that your crew wasn't there, so you couldn't wear that hat.
Because we did we did a couple tastings, and I was like, where did the champagne and the chocolate thing? No, like I don't want to non-class it up, so I just wore a ball cap, but it was fine. All right, so let's talk about the cruise, and I guess we'll start off with it because people had questions. Going into Lauderdale, my first time going to Lauderdale. I liked Lauderdale. It was great. We stayed at the Hilton Marina, and that hotel was nice. For somebody that only ever sailed out of, for Disney, out of Port Canaveral. I've sailed out of Miami with Royal Caribbean before, but it's shocking how close that hotel is to the ship. Like you can see the hotel.
Right
you like when you get on the ship, like you can see that there's the hotel. Like it's right there. Like it's literally like when you take the transfer, like boop, 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 you turn a couple streets and you're at the port. Shocking. But the hotel was nice. Great room. Had a nice pool, nice exercise room. Super nice. You stayed there too. You thought
I really
nice
enjoyed
too.
that hotel. I think it's really nice. It's funny, like when you were sharing photos, you shared this photo of you with like the captain's wheel, that they have out there. I was like, I have that same photo.
Oh, did you see? I didn't know you had that picture, but I told Pam when I took it, I was like, I guarantee you Scott took this picture, but I didn't know. I was like, but I guarantee you he found this picture because of in front of this big yacht. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And right by where that is, there's because I love seeing the yachts right there. You have the boats right there. So there's great outdoor seating. There's like a nice little restaurant where me and Liz had lunch, kind of like where that wheel is right there. Yeah. I found the hotel to be very enjoyable. I will tell you though, I remember you commented like on the price. It is a little bit on the pricier side maybe. Yeah. And we arrived early because we took a first flight out the day we stayed there. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we have a room ready for you, and we'll just add another $60 for your early check-in." I was like, "What?"
What?
So I had to pay like an early check-in fee when we stayed there, which like
Whoa.
I was just like, whatever, because I want to just drop my stuff off and maybe take a nap. I was just hoping to have a room available. I didn't know I was going to pay like an early check-in fee. So watch out. That hotel does have early check-in fees, because the same thing happened to Jared too. His was like not as much because he was like a couple hours later. So like it's like prorated based on the time you check in. I thought it was kind of wild.
Yeah, we didn't get there until about 3:30 because we didn't land until after 2:00, so we got there about 3:30. But so we didn't have all that. But I will say, like, the room was nice. A couple things though. There was a fire alarm that happened in the middle of the night. Well, I guess I was on the treadmill. But I got up at 4:40, so it was probably about. I want to say it was about 5:30 in the morning was when the fire alarm went off, because I didn't hear it. I had my AirPods in and I was on the treadmill, but they came into the workout room because none of us heard it because it was loud. But they came and like cleared us from the thing, but like everybody was run out. Now here's the kicker. So there's like a courtyard in the middle of this hotel with like, an open courtyard with like palm trees and a swimming pool and stuff. They were having a wedding reception in that courtyard that night before with the DJ. But I was so tired, I didn't care, dude. I can sleep through stuff. So I just went to bed at like 9:30 or something that night. I was so tired, but people were complaining that they were having a DJ out there till like 11 o'clock. So people were really mad that the fire alarm went off at like 5:30 in the morning after having a DJ out there the night before. People were fired up, and my wife was one of them, because people wanted to sleep. But it was a false alarm, obviously, and people got to go. But I mean, they tried to clear the hotel, and people were not excited. I mean, it was out of their hands, but things happen. So, but the hotel was fine. So if you want to stay at the hotel, it was recommended. It was nice. It was expensive, but it was. I told I had the queen with me, so you gotta pay up. I wasn't gonna stay at a cheap place with the queen. So we stayed there. The airport was nice in and out. Well, going out it was kind of nuts because like they had all the flights leaving at the same time at Southwest, and everybody was lined up next to each other. All the gates are tight.
So that's how I feel at MCO.
Oh my God, it was crazy.
That's how my experience is every time at MCO. Like all the flights go out at the same time, so it's bottlenecks everywhere. It's chaos everywhere. So I didn't realize that happened to you at Fort Lauderdale.
Well, and I tried to get this Cuban sandwich that took 45 minutes to get. And I was like, I have an hour till we line up. Dude, 45 minutes of waiting for a Cuban sandwich, a little fast food joint right by the gate. I'm like, come on now. I was once a Cuban. There was about to be a riot because there were like 30. They kept taking orders, but weren't making any sandwiches. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Anyway, don't get the Cuban sandwich by the Southwest gate at Fort Lauderdale Airport. It was good in the end. Like I had to eat it on the airplane going home, but it took 45 minutes to get. So let's talk about the cruise though. So I did flying out of Lauderdale. I'll do it again. Or sailing out of Lauderdale. The Destiny.
I love that Port Everglades is so nice.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice. And it's
so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Was it way bigger than you thought? I thought it'd be like one or two cruise ships. There were 6 or 7 cruise ships in there.
Yeah, it was big, and the Disney port that we were at, because did you go through the Mickey ears?
Yeah, I mean it's a full on Disney cruise line.
Full on. I thought it was gonna be so much smaller and not as nice, and they had an upper level that was for concierge guests too, so that was kind of nice too. So that made the bottom level that weren't staying concierge still even more comfortable. I really enjoyed it, and I loved the ocean, the sea vibe that they have on the ceiling there. I thought it was really great.
Yeah, it was. I mean, would you say it's more beautiful than Port Canaveral? It's not as big as Port Canaveral, but it's not
as big. But
it's beautiful though.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, I like the look of it. And I like that upper level for concierge. Now you could hear.
Now you do have to walk a ways. Once did you have to walk a lot to get onto the ship? I'm trying to remember. I thought we did, but maybe not. I might be mixing that up with Terminal 10 at Port Canaveral because we didn't do the non-Disney one once. And we had to walk a bunch. That's what I'm thinking of. So never mind.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Oh, real quick on Fort Lauderdale, though, I will say, because we got there the night before, we went out exploring a little bit. We went to a little place called Yo Mama's Ice Cream, some of the best ice cream we ever had, next to a little bar called Parrots. We just took an Uber. It was a little. We got a drink at this place called Parrots, right next to each other. So if you want a little drink to watch some football, and next door is a place called Yo Mama's Ice Cream. Oh, so good. And we went to a sports bar called Duffy's and I had fish and chips and watched they have all kinds of TVs. So those were 3 places in Lauderdale. We kind of messed around that night. That was fun. So we got on the ship. We loved the terminal, explored it. So the Wish class ships, how do you feel about the Wish class ships in general? Because you've been on the Wish, you're going on the Treasure this summer. I mean, like, what are your thoughts on like the Wish in general? Because you've been on the Wish.
So I think
the others.
the rooms are great. They're my favorite staterooms out of all three classes. Like, I feel like they're just figuring out a little bit better. Like, it's funny, like when we're on the Magic, do you remember that giant dresser that was on the end of the bed, like on the Magic?
Mhm.
Like, I kept trying to like shift my way and wiggle my way through the room there. Like, where on the Wish, I feel like, or the Wish classes, like I feel like it's more spacious and the bathroom is really nice with the real like shower door, you know. And I just love the way it's like decorated. So the rooms really blow me away on the Wish class. Do you feel the same about that?
That's what I was gonna say. The rooms on the Wish class ships are amazing. Like I said, the storage, like they got so many like little nooks to put stuff. Like just the beauty of the beds. They even have like lights they're called art lights. You know, because they have, I guess, like our room was a Hercules room. So we had like the Hercules art above our bed, and there was like a little light you hit, and it like kind of lit up the gold accents on the art. It was just obviously it was brand new. It was like, you know, 4th or 5th sailing, public sailing of the ship, so everything smelled like, you know, brand new. The bathrooms are huge because again we just came off the Magic, right? So the bathroom felt gigantic with the tub and everything felt gigantic. Plus we went to we were in a 4 for 2. Category 4 room for 2 people. We're like, holy smokes, this is enormous. So the veranda was great. You know, we're on deck 6 now. I'll tell you that location does matter, I think, especially on the Wish class ships, because you don't have the midship elevators, because you only have aft and forward elevators, which makes the atrium really nice, right? They use the atrium on the Wish class ships really well because they do shows down there. They do meet and greets. We met Santa in the atrium.
I don't care for that stage, and maybe that's a Scotty G thing, but like that stage, I'd rather have an elevator bank than that stage sitting there. Like, and I think they're starting to do more things. Like, I'm sure there were shows right on the Destiny. I'm not trying to jump ahead, but like I'm guessing they're doing some interactive shows on that stage. I don't remember ever seeing one on the Wish, honestly. So maybe they're finding better use of that space, but I really kind of disappointed in that.
Well, see, I think you'll change your tune after you sell the Treasure, because they're going to do all kinds of stuff on that stage on the Treasure, and they did even more on the Destiny.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because they've probably done this more. I don't know, because the Wish does shorter cruises, but I don't know. And this was only a 4-night cruise, but what they have done is, I think they're making these cruises on the Wish class ships now more of an experience than a cruise. It's like a story. It's almost like what they did with the Star Wars Hotel. That like it's an immersive experience, not as in depth as that, but there's like a storyline from beginning to end of the experience, right? And there's 2 like hosts. There's a male and female host throughout the cruise that'll tell a story that unfolds like from the beginning and the end of the cruise.
Oh,
and
interesting.
So. And they'll use that stage. For example, one of the lounges, this is going to be all over the place. I'm just going to tell things because I think it gets boring if you go sequential. But one of the lounges on the Destiny's DeVille's, and you said like this is going to be one of your, like when you get on the Destiny, you're going to love DeVille's because you're
I'm obsessed with 101 Dalmatians. Yes.
The piano in there is really cool. It's got like the spots and everything. It's really sweet. It's beautiful in there. And we did a tasting. We actually did 2 tastings in DeVille's, but obviously, Cruella DeVille's a big character throughout the ship, right? Because she's kind of got a home in DeVille's. Well, one night they did a show, and I don't know like how this. I was still confused about this because like we didn't really go to it. We just happened upon it because it's in the atrium, which is deck 3 midship, and then of course on this class of ship, decks 4 and 5 overlook the atrium, right? So if you're just passing through the middle of the ship on deck 4 or 5, you're going to look down, you're going to see the show happening. But it was called something like Cruella's fashion show or something.
Oh my God, this sounds amazing.
But here's the deal. Like it was all guests that were part of the show. And so what she would do is, and like the cruise director staff had all these people. Now it wasn't just kids. It was adults too, like in groups. And so Cruella would like riff on these people, and like they made up. So she was up on that stage, right? Like on the Wish stage, but it was the Destiny, right? So she was kind of up on the stage with all this light kit, and they had a runway going off the stage down the middle of the atrium. And the guests like that were in the show, and like they picked these people and they put them into groups, right? So anybody that had on like black and white, they were in like the 101 Dalmatians group. And so like she would riff on these people like they were the 101 puppies. And she'd like be, oh, darling, I love the look of
Oh my God,
of
this is
December
amazing.
2025. Oh, the puppy look is awesome. And she'd riff on them. But then, they'd be like, oh, you're in the princess collection. So any kids that had on like, princess dresses, or any like adults that had anything on that looked like a princess, like they would walk for like 5 minutes. Or, anybody that had on sports attire, they were in a collection. So then they would walk down the aisle, and, she'd riff
And
on.
she would just give like commentary.
Yes,
as
and
they're
as
walking?
Cruella de Vil, she just riff on him and make fun of him, and it was hilarious. But I mean, I don't know if like these people knew it was going to happen, or because I mean, some of these people had like really good, like like 101 Dalmatians. Like I mean, some of them had like spotted like dresses and stuff. I don't know if like they knew this was going to happen, or if it was just like coincidence. Because I mean, it was a brand new ship. Like this hasn't happened that many times. But I swear some of these people knew. I mean, because their outfits were amazing. But they had like, all these different 10 groups,
Maybe they were just planning on wearing that at DeVille's.
Possibly.
DeVille's was on the ship.
But it was, and that's what I'm saying is they used the space really well, because there were a ton of people around watching. I mean, up from, all 3 decks, but like they had, the runway, but she was up there just like riffing on people. And it was fun because it was like impromptu, and she was good. Like she was hilarious. And
that's great use of the stage. I love that.
That was a good use of the space. Because I mean, but do I wish it was a midship elevator bank? Yes. But here's where I say that you kind of do want to think about where your stateroom is on this class of ship, because it does matter. Because we had a stateroom that was deck 6, but near the aft elevator bank, and it was nice. I mean, because we got off the bank, we got off the elevators, or we took the steps a lot. But boom, right there at our stateroom. And that made it nice. Like, so I don't mind being forward or aft, really. We were kind of mid to aft, and we just got off the elevator, deck 6, boom, and we were at our stateroom really easy. So I'd try to be by either the forward or aft elevators. It'll save you some steps, especially over a week on the Treasure. Like, that'll save you some steps.
Did you like deck 6? Would you like to have been a little higher up?
No, 6 was great. Yeah.
Was it great?
It was great. I mean, yeah, I would 6, 7, something like that.
Set you up.
I didn't mean to do that. Whoops.
You're such a high schooler.
Yeah, such a high school.
Because, I mean, there's benefits to both. Like when you're on 6, you can just walk down 2 flights of stairs, and like I call it the Luna Lounge. I know it's different on the Destiny and the Treasure, but you're close to that, and then like you can get to the adult areas. But then it's a larger climb if you want to get to like Festival of Food. So were you probably doing the elevator more for that stuff, kind of? Or
we did the steps a lot, but we did because Pam's coming off at broken ankle. She can go up steps a lot easier, and she can go down. So we went up the steps a lot easier. We took the elevator down. But yeah, we just did whatever. But yeah, it wasn't bad. Like 6, at least you're in the middle, right? So that's where I try to be, is like in the middle, so you can kind of. Because we go down to like 3s where the Haunted Mansion bar, DeVille's, the shopping was, the Pridelands restaurant. So let's talk, because I don't want to go like an hour, so I want to make sure we hit some of the stuff. The Pridelands restaurant, man, so good. I mean, so good. So the best way I could compare it, I was trying, because here I got to say this. So we were wondering, like, what's the table seating going to be like? Are we going to have a private table? Are we going to sit with some people? So we did have a private table, just Pam and I. And nice. there was another agent from the Magic for Less that was on this cruise as well with her friend, and she had a private table as well, Stacy and her friend. And so we met up like early in, like, on embarkation. We started talking, and I was like, are you eating with anybody? She's like, no, it's just my friend and I. I'm like, well, we should eat together, right? I'm like, what's your table number? And she's like 312 or something. I'm like, we're like 314. So we went to guest services. We got combined. We got the table in between. We're like 315 or something. So we all 4 ended up sitting together for the cruise, so we could all hang out. So that was easy to do. So we all 4 sat together, and it was awesome. And so we ate dinners together. But the Pridelands restaurant was... Man, okay, so it felt like Sanaa a little bit to me without the animals, obviously, but it had like the browns, the oranges, it had that color scheme of Animal Kingdom Lodge. But let me just tell you, the singers in there, like, because they do the show, right? They sing a little bit, and they bring out the chorus, and they sing a little bit, and they sing all the hits from Lion King, be prepared. He lives.
It's like the
you.
Festival of Lion King, but like
Yeah.
a dinner show.
But the singers, Scott, I mean, they were so good. Like one of the things I love about Festival of Lion King at Animal Kingdom Park is how good the singers are. I'm telling you, these singers were so good. I mean,
that's got me psyched.
And here's the thing, you would love it because there's like 3 dudes playing like bongos and percussion instruments, like walking around, like they're playing like the whole time. Like they walk into the restaurant playing, you know, like conga drums. And I mean, it's so good. I mean, oh my gosh, it's just, the show is amazing. It's perfect for the restaurant. And
is this like the Arendelle type restaurant?
Yes,
like
it's that
for the Wish.
Yeah. Okay. In the Coco restaurant for Treasure.
Okay.
But it's just, it's not over the top. Like like there's such, because what they're doing, they're telling the story of the Lion King, right? But they're telling it kind of in a slightly different way. But the music is obviously all the hits, you know, Can You Feel the Love Tonight and all that stuff. Oh, but there's such good performers and such good singers. It was just,
and the menu was solid.
The menu was great. I mean, the food was awesome. The food's always great. I mean, I know you're not a big fan of the main dining room food all the time, but
I like the Wish class. I think the Wish class food is like stepped up its game a little bit. Like I like the Arendelle restaurant.
Yeah,
like what they offer there. So, and I'm sure the Coco one is awesome too.
Oh yeah, the Coco one's amazing, dude. I mean, it's Mexican food, but so good. But yeah, the Pride Lands restaurant is just it. The performers were just so good. So yeah, I mean, I loved it. And we had that the first night they did the show. The second night was Pirates Night. So we were in this restaurant 2 nights in a row. Obviously they didn't do the show.
No drumming and stuff happening
that
night.
I was, and I knew they wouldn't, right? Because it's Pirate Night. But and we had the Pirate Night menu, which, it's always the same menu.
You said you did like the scallops or something? Or
yeah, it was. What do they call it? Like Jack's Treasure of the Sea or something. The thing that's got kind of the pasta with all the like, little. It's got like you said, scallops and shrimp and all that stuff on top of it. It's so good.
Nice.
But I had a white top on, like a pullover, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get this all over me. It was so good.
Dangerous.
It was dangerous.
So then you had 1923 the next night. Is that right?
Yes. And so 1923 is the same on all the ships. Pam likes this one the best.
That's the best.
It is. I mean, it's the best menu. It's kind of Pam calls it
the best main dining food I've had on any ship I've ever been on. Like that wasn't like a upgraded one, like a main dining. I think that menu is really good.
Right. And we tend to get the steak there. I mean, because I think they have a filet and they have the best desserts too. So we got that. And it's just kind of chill there. So we enjoyed that.
Is it kind of decorated like how you would say the Wish and the
it's exactly
Treasure is too, like with artifacts and stuff? And
yeah, it's exactly the same as like the Treasure and the Wish. It's no different. So we did that, and then we did Palo. We did, because we were talking a couple shows ago about Palo, and you reminded me that, like, okay, I'm platinum, so am I going to do Palo?
Take advantage.
And yeah, I was like, I gotta have the souffle. So we did Palo, and it was awesome. And so we had a great server, and the server had like a kind of a trainee with her, and he was great. She was great. It was just nice to have a slow meal at night in Palo. And
last night of the cruise too.
Yeah, the last night of the cruise. It was great. I mean, and when you work your way up to platinum, and because we've done a few cruises at this point. If you don't know, when you're platinum, you get a free meal. You get like a $55. What I think it is, like you get a $55 credit per person to Palo, which is what the a la carte option is, or the.
But can you order off menu and they just credit you 55?
I believe that's what it is. I think that's how it works.
Because I'm thinking about next time not going a la carte, and I was just kind of curious if you knew.
Or not a la carte, but what's that called when you do the
So they had the prefix. That's
the
like
prefix,
$55.
Yeah, the prefix. So if you do the prefix thing, it's covered. You just got to pay the gratuity. But yeah, I think it's a 50. I've heard you get that credit toward if you want to like go rogue and go off.
Yeah,
off
because I did that the last time on the fantasy. I did like the fish and a couple other things, but I already had used my free one at brunch. So.
Yeah, I think that's what you get. It was good. So we did that. So that was kind of the dining, but man, Pride Lands restaurant.
How about the Festival of Foods though? How was that? Was that similar to all the other ships? Or?
It was good. It was good. I just wish it was open more. We love it. Yeah, it's not open.
That's my downside. They really want you in those main dining rooms.
They do.
By closing so early.
And I wish the ice cream, especially the ice cream should be open 24 hours. Like, and it should be self-serve.
It should be self-serve.
I hate that you got to ask somebody for it. Like that's where the other class of ships just kill. Like you should just be able to go up there and just
you can't make a Scotty
G
cone on there.
No, And like there were so many times, like, it'd be like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, man, I wish I could get an ice cream cone. Nope, can't get one.
I know.
Yeah. And you know what? There's no place.
The barbecue is so good. The tacos, like, you just wish they were open longer. I mean, it's just unfortunate.
And two, one of the things is that the food, Pam and I both said this, the food at Festival Foods is actually good enough that you could actually skip the main dining room one night and just make a meal out of it. I mean, dude, the ribs are so good. I mean,
Absolutely.
I had a really good cheeseburger. I mean, just a cheeseburger, but holy smokes, it was so good. They have brats. I mean, because sometimes you just don't want to have like a whole experience of a meal.
You just want to have a quick meal sometimes.
The mac and cheese was killer. Yeah, the tacos. Oh, so good. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, because like that's something I've been noticing. Like the dining, I love the main dining, and like they're adding these little cool elements with the Marvel show, and then like the Lion King show. But sometimes those meals just like really like play out for like a long period of time, where like yeah, I want to eat, but I want to get back to doing like other stuff, So that's why I wish the Festival of Foods would be open during the day, or during those time frames, so you just quick grab a rib or whatever, and then go back to another thing in Luna or something.
I agree, and I don't think it would cost them that much, to keep it open more. I think
it's probably because of like they need to figure out how much they're making for those
possibly
main dining rooms, because they probably don't want to like make, because they're serving all those things right at once, right? That's kind of like the wedding setup, so they have like a number of these that they have in mind that they're going to make, and they probably don't want to waste it off. Like if a third of the restaurant goes to Festival of Foods or something, like I don't know.
That's a good point. Because that it could be a huge variable. If you have that open all the time, like then you don't know how many people are going to go there if it's always available. That's true, because it's going to force people into the main dining room, which is going to give you a locked amount of diners.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone's going to order the same thing in the main dining room, but at least it gives them an idea.
Yeah. That's a good point.
And then they know how many people are going to be at Palo usually. So
that's true. That is true. Yeah, those chicken strips are even good up on Festival of Foods.
I know those they are
so good. I had a few of those.
I think the Wish class ships, just the food quality in general, is better. I don't know why that would be necessarily. Is the kitchen offerings different, or like I don't know, but I feel like the quality and like the selections are better on these new class of ships.
The one thing they don't have as far as food on the Wish class ships that I couldn't find was like wraps. Like on the Magic, they had those wraps at like Daisy's Delight, which was kind of up in that corner, which was next to the cookies, which was kind of funny because like healthy foods is like wraps and salads and soups and like fruits and veg and like fruits and then cookies. But they didn't have. I couldn't find wraps because like I was kind of like fiending for like a tuna wrap or a chicken wrap or something one day, and Pam's like, just go get a taco, like a soft taco or burrito. I'm like, well, that's kind of a wrap. I'm like, okay. So yeah, I think I did. But Kyle's got a question here, and actually Ian had this question too over in the Discord. It says, hey guys, how long before the Hercules show did you have to line up? I've seen video with crazy lines already an hour before. Moana was a long line on the Treasure. It looks similar. So I was on the Treasure for Moana, and that was nuts. Now here's the thing. Our sailing was less than 75% full. So that is going to have an impact on this. We didn't go to any shows either. We did not go see Hercules or Frozen or any of the shows. We're not big shows people. So we just went around and hung out and did some other stuff throughout the cruise. But I did talk to a crew person, and he said that they do look at the manifest for the cruise. And if the cruise is at capacity, here's how you can kind of get an indication. If your cruise is going to be where it's going to be really full in the theaters for the 6 o'clock and the 8 o'clock or 8:15 shows, they will throw a matinee also on the agenda if they think it's going to be tight for people. If they think it could be close where there's not going to be enough seats for everybody to see the show on each showing. So like, for the late seating for everybody to see the early show, for the early seating for everybody to see the late show. If there's a matinee, that means that the seating could be tight. So if you see a matinee and you want to see like the show at night, your dinner show, that would be an indication to line up early if you don't want to go for the matinee.
That's an interesting fact.
That's your red kind of alert that they're saying there might not be enough seats. So if you see a matinee,
I love that because I had a matinee on the Fantasy
for
the Frozen show, and I even said to the girls like, that's interesting. Like on the sea day, they're like Jimmy, you see it eat at Jimmy was really pushing it too. Like, oh, you families with those little ones, like we're going to have the matinee for the Frozen show tomorrow. So make sure you check that at 1:00. I'm like, man, they're really pushing that. And I told you, I thought we had a very full ship. That's interesting fact to know. Thanks for sharing.
Because I was talking to the crew member and he says, there's no matinee on this ship because the ship's not full. You're going to have plenty of seating. He's like, you don't have to line up early. You're going to be fine. You're going to get seats. Like you're going to get good seats. He's like, so you're good. He's like, but if you see a matinee, he's like, that means either go to the matinee and you'll be fine. Or he's like, if you want to get a good seat for the evening show, get there a little bit early if you see a matinee, because that means that we put the matinee on the schedule so that everybody is assured to be able to see the show as long as you make a choice. Because the matinee is meant to push families out of the evening shows to open up those seats for other people. So that's just a kind of an indication.
That's a fun little DCL fact right there.
Also another fleet, and I don't know how true this is, but I was talking to a bartender up in Currents. We were sitting up there one night just enjoying the sunset. I think it was actually before I went to Powell, the last night of the cruise. Up on deck 14 forward, the sunset was going down. We were having the bartender made me a drink that we had in a mixology class a couple of cruises ago. It was called the Key Lime Martini. She made me. It was so good. Oh my gosh. And Pam had the Blue Hawaiian, which was the drink of the day. We're just enjoying life. It was so good. And as the sun went down, we were just talking to her. She was great. And she told us that 80% of the crew on the Destinies, all new hires, which I thought was very interesting. Yes.
Wow.
Because I was curious, and Pam asked her this, like with a new ship, do they bring like an all-star crew over to a new ship, right? To open a ship? And she's like, no. They just, if they need bartenders to bring them over, and we kind of saw that because the dining room was having, kind of first day, first week, first month jitters with kind of learning the thing. Our dining staff was fine. They were super friendly. They were eager. They were great, friendly people. But, there were some hiccups with serving, but they'll get it, right? They gotta go through some sailings and figure things out and it'll happen. But yeah, I was always wondering that, like, do they bring the best of the best to the new ships? But what it is, I think the folks that have been with cruise line longest, I've always heard kind of want to stay maybe on like the Magic and the Wonder. They like the small ships and they like the ships they've been on. I don't think you have to necessarily go to the new ship every time if you've been with the line a long time.
But what's crazy, like our friend, the Coco Cadillac guy, Benny, I think you and I and Pam and like all of our families, I think we've seen him on 4 different ships.
Yes. But I think if you've been with the line a long time, you can request to move if you want to, but I don't think you have to. Like, but maybe you do. I don't know. Like she was talking about that, but I could see it though. Like that with our stateroom host, he was very friendly, but I think he was new to the thing too. Like, maybe. I don't know.
So how was the Luna space? I'm guessing, because I mean, this is like the same design, right, as the other like Wish class ships, but like, did you spend any time in there at all?
We did. And okay, so Pam has a theory on this. We actually went to Serenity Bay and we didn't. And also I think Ian was asking about how cold the water was at Castaway. I didn't get in. Pam didn't get in. Very few people got in the water at Castaway. It was a super windy day when we were there. It was beautiful if you didn't get in the water, but there weren't many people getting in the water. I'm just not I hardly get in the water like in July. Like I get in a little bit. I'm just not a big water person. And I definitely wasn't going to get in December, but I enjoyed sitting. Like we did the thing that Pam does. We got the little chair set on the edge of the water. I didn't put my feet in. She did. I got super sunburned though. I got lit up because I didn't put any sunscreen on or anything because I was thinking it's December, right? I didn't think about, dude, I got back on the ship. I had the raccoon, like dinner that night. They were all making fun of me because I had the raccoon eyes. I had my face was bright red. My shorts had a big old line that night when I got in the shower. I was lit up. I got smoked because I fell asleep in my, in the lounge chair. Whew, I got burned. But anyway, because it's a sunny day, sunny and windy. I think I got windburn too. But Pam brought up a good point. We were sitting on the beach just talking about the ships, and she was talking about it was called the Sega Lounge on the Destiny, and she has a theory. And let me see. I want to run this past you. So on the Wish class ships, they have these 2 hosts now, right? The male and the female hosts to kind of guide you through this adventure. And they also do they do match your mate. They do, they do all the trivia. They had 80s trivia. We won 80s trivia the last night. Shout out. And it was packed, dude. It was packed. There was a 7-way tie for first, a 40 out of 40. That's how many people were playing.
Wow. And you won the tiebreaker?
Yep. How many people
Nice.
are live action in the AHA video?
Oh, dang. Nice.
3.
I was going to say 1, I think, but yeah, okay, 3. Okay.
It's the 2 people and the girl. But anyway, so she was mentioning, though, like on the fantasy and the dream, everybody tends, the adults, this is just her observation, I think she was right on, that there's like a core group of cruisers that tend to every night after dinner go down to like Evolution or the Tube, right? And it's like 75% of the people are the same people that go there every night, right? And kind of gather in the Tube or Evolution. It's like 75% of the same people. So by like day 3 or 4 of your cruise, you kind of know the same people, like not know them really well, but you kind of get to know, like,
you recognize them, like, oh, I remember that person from night 1. They did this funny thing.
You know them by like they've been on stage because they've, you know, that was like couple number 3 at Match Your Mate, or it was, you know, this clown that did something in one of the other like game shows.
I got hypnotized.
Yes, exactly. And like, you know, they're kind of like cruise famous by like day 3, right? And so everybody, she says that like for some reason in like Luna or Sega Lounge or whatever it is, because of the openness of it, and plus it's more that these 2 hosts are kind of like they're the main characters, like they're guiding. They're also great entertainers, but it's less like it's less of the guests being on stage and more of like this narrative that they're guiding you through your cruise. You're still kind of doing these same things, but it's less of this camaraderie. I think it's because that space on the fantasy and the dreams kind of closed in and dark. It's almost like a little like hideaway every night for the adults,
like
where
a speakeasy.
Right. And it's like open and out in the open, and it's double decker, and it just feels like less like you're going away like this little secret club every night where everybody's hanging out, and it's just more open where like less bonds are made. I don't know. She had a theory, and it was kind of hard to put into words, but I was like, yeah, I felt that way on every Wish cruise I've been on so far.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, do you think that? Do you think there's something to
I kind of see what you're saying, but because of the 2 levels too, like
yeah, right. Because people
like you're not as like, it's not as intimate almost, like, and like some of those tables, I remember being on the BR Guest podcast cruise one, like they were doing karaoke in there, and like we were with Jared and Stacy and Megan and Mark, and like we were just like in this corner booth, and like you couldn't even see it. Like I was watching it on a screen.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Like,
yeah.
Like,
right.
Like I'm in the space live. And I'm watching it on a TV. It's like when you go to like a football game and you're like way up there, like, and you're just watching it on the jumbotron instead of like watching the field. It's just like, it's like, what am I doing? It's just a weird space for me a little bit.
It is. And I will say though, because, you know, we went to Match Your Mate, and, you know, the oldest couple won, and they were awesome.
Oh, good. I'm glad when the oldest couple
yes, wins. They're hilarious. She called them. And I will say that the adult activities host, she was awesome. She was this young lady from Brazil. She was really great, and her assistant was awesome too. I love them. They did a good job. And but if you want to have what feels like that experience on the fantasy and the dream, definitely sit down on the floor. Like don't go in the balcony, because I've always sat in the balcony, I think, on the other ones, because it's kind of a cool view. But if you want that, we sat this time down kind of like on the floor, like in the main area, and in the first couple of rows. Now you also got to be careful, because you'll get picked for stuff, which I'm kind of a main character. I didn't get picked for anything this time, which is fine, because I wasn't trying to, because with Pam, she doesn't like that stuff, and that's cool. But you just feel more like your
true buddy was there though.
We'd have been totally tearing it up. But like this time we were more observers, but you feel more like that experience of like a dream fantasy if you're down on deck 4 than up on the balcony on deck 5. So if you want to have that more intimate experience, sit on the floor rather than balcony, because the balcony it is more like an observer experience where you're going to get into it more down on the floor. So I'd just say, but in that Triton lounge, that lounge across the way, too small for everything. It's too small. It's too small.
Well, I know you're going to want to talk more about the ship, but I have to ask the question that everyone has been wanting to know, Mike. So you went into this saying like, I don't know Marvel, I don't know the movies, like this will be really interesting for me to experience this, not knowing these movies or these storylines. I got to know, did that impact your cruise at all? Like, Do you love the ship? Do you want to sail it next week? Like, what are your like kind of overall thoughts on that with the Marvel superhero thing going on?
So the characters, I will say, I mean, there were meet and greets everywhere all the time. I mean, if you are a Marvel person, you're going to love it. I walked out of Sega Lounge and I think it was Black Panther. I think, because I'm pretty sure he was like right there, dude. And he was stalking this lady. I mean, he like took a picture with her and like she started fiddling with her phone afterwards. And like he stood there for a minute and then she started walking down towards like shutters where the pictures were, you know, towards the main atrium. Mm-hmm. She started fiddling with her phone. She had no idea, dude. He was like following her all the way down. And I didn't follow her because that'd have been weird, but like, I know he scared the stuff out of her like later on because man, he's like all in black and she had no idea he was behind her. Like, I'm sure that there was a good scare there like 15 seconds later because he went right behind her. I was like, this is going to be awesome, but I should have watched, but I didn't. So like there, you know, and that's the thing about cruising, the difference between meeting characters on a cruise than at like World or Disneyland, because you get more intimate experiences. I'll give you a better one. On the last night of the cruise, so I did it on Mike in the Midwest. I talked about the duck hunting thing. So the way Pam and I got our steps in every day is we went duck hunting. We went looking for these like rubber ducks that were hidden all around the ship. So like, we just like, let's go duck hunting. Let's try to find these ducks that are hidden. People would hide these ducks. And so we just go around and look for ducks, right? The elevator banks, stairwells, anywhere. But the Sega Lounge, we found a few there, like in the little, like by those booths, like they'd be sitting there. Anywhere. We'd buy the stores. We found them everywhere. So I'd be like, let's go duck hunting. Let's find some ducks. So I think it was the last night too. We're like by the elevator banks, like on like, I don't know, like deck 8 or something. I'm just like peeking around. Like I'm looking around, looking for those little bitty ducks. Cause some are so small, like looking up by the top where it says Destiny, and boom, the elevator opens, right? Like we're like aft elevators or something. I mean, not even our deck. Like we're on deck 6. This was like a deck 8. Bam, dude. Donald Duck pops out of the elevator. He's like,
you want to talk about duck hunting?
Yo, I'm saying this is exactly it, dude. He's like, the handler is like, buh, because Donald Duck's like, Donald Duck didn't make a sound, but the handler's like, buh. I'm like, it scared me kind of. Like, I'm like, what's going on, dude? Because like the handler and Donald Duck pop out of the elevator, dude. Boo, and it's right by the one. I got a picture of it on my Instagram. And so the handler's like, we're just going around surprising people on the elevator. I'm like, that's awesome. She goes, you want to do it with us? I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm like, I do this all the time. I'm like, I love scaring
people. We got a
people.
VIP here in the elevator.
I was like, I love posting up on people. Let's go. So I'm like, Pam's like, what are we doing? I'm like, get in the elevator. I'm like, so here we go. So we get in the elevator with Donald Duck and the handler. So like, first of all, I'm like, dude, we got to get a selfie. I'm like, get a selfie with Donald Duck. We get the selfie. So she's like, we're going. So Donald Duck hits the thing with his hands. He hits every floor. Oh. So I'm like, dude, we're on this thing with every floor. So we're going, I don't know if we went up or down. I can't remember, but we go to the next floor. And so he's like standing like right, by the doors and waiting for him to pop open. So I'm kind of like I'm like, do I do this or not? Or do I just watch? So I'm just kind of like his wingman, right? So both of them pop out at the next floor. Boo! And I'm like, this is the best. So then, I'm getting to watch the people get like scared and like react. And like we're just surprising people. We're just surprising people. You want to get in the elevator? Nobody else would get in the elevator. So they closed the doors. We rode to the next floor. It was great. We did this for like 3 floors. And I was like, all right, we'll get out now. I was like, we're going to ride this thing all night or we just do it for a few floors. But it was like,
I would ride it all night. That is so awesome.
It was great. Like, so we got to like, scare people with Donald Duck. I was like, this is like my dream. So we did that, but the characters were everywhere. But I will say, like Loki, like the Cruella de Vil show, Loki did a show where like they presented him with on that stage in the atrium. They presented him with like a throne or something.
Okay,
I didn't know who Loki was. He had some kind of horns or something.
Yeah,
I learned that. I learned that. Yeah, I learned that. But yeah, I mean, did it have anything to do with my cruise? No, but I will say. All this, the Treasure's my favorite Wish class ship still because it leans more Disney theme park. But the Destiny though, in the stairwells, how they have those art pieces. Oh my gosh, they had some great Star Wars art in some of the stairwells, especially to like the original trilogy. So nice. Good. So I did like it. Yeah, but you can go on this absolutely and not know anything about Marvel and have a blast. Oh my gosh, I loved it.
Yeah, because it's not just Marvel. I mean, you're talking like Hercules and Meg, and you got Cruella, like it's more than just like Marvel heroes and villains. It seemed like, and it looked awesome from me from afar, and I can't wait to sail that ship. It just looks fan. It's Disney Cruise Line, and they just are great at storytelling. You have these like rich character histories, and the restaurants, the entertainment. It's just in the staterooms. Oh, it's magical.
And I will say real quick, Kyle's asking about we're going to the Destiny in February. We've never gone out of Fort Lauderdale. No, it's a bigger port. How bad was the wait for your from the hotel to get to the dude? You're there. I mean, you can see from the hotel to the ship, and so you'll be there in a blink. So it's great. And and again, no spoilers, but you got to see Dr. Facilier. I mean, oh my gosh, like. They nailed this Dr. Facilier experience. And I was like, I was not going to do it because like the lines, I just happened to catch the one because we didn't go to her. I went to the one that happened, but half the ship was at dinner. Half the ship was seeing Hercules. There was only like 10 people sitting outside the little studio where he does his little thing. I'm blown away. I'm not going to spoil it, but I was just like, this is crazy. It's crazy. Like I was looking around. I was like, what's going on? He was amazing. I'm going to watch Princess and the Frog because it was that cool.
You should. It's an amazing movie. Yeah.
And we got to meet Santa. Like I love, like ours was not it was not listed as a Very Merry Christmas cruise, but like the whole ship, the whole time was playing Disney Christmas music in the halls. The merchandise they had Christmas like sweatshirts and all kinds of, Christmas ornaments and stuff. Santa had meet and greets throughout the cruise. We got to meet Santa. That was the bomb. Big Christmas tree, some Disney Christmas characters. It was great. Oh, because I love Christmas. So that was a big surprise for me because I didn't think we'd get any of that.
Yeah, I didn't think you were either. And jackpot.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So and like you said, I want to do an official Very Merry Christmas cruise next year for sure. Oh, they're the best. I'm
going to be looking at dates because we're
going to
have
to do one together. That's our next cruise together. Is going to have to be a Very Merry next year. It was great. So the Wish class though, I would still go. If I had to guess, I would go Treasure, Destiny, Wish, but they're all three great ships. They're fun.
They're great.
I will say the adult areas though. I mean, the adult areas are kind of the weak spot for the Wish class ships still. The lounges are nice. The lounges are nice. Like DeVille's was great. I mean, the Haunted Mansion bar is amazing. You haven't been to the Haunted Mansion bar, dude.
I have not. I have because I haven't been on the Treasure yet.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna die when you go on the Haunted Mansion bar. It is so good. It is so good. I forgot you haven't been there. You're gonna be blown away by that. Yeah, I can't wait for you to see that.
Looking forward to seeing that this summer.
And Cask and Cannon was great. Which is Keg and Compass on the Wish. It was great. We watched football in there a couple times. We got a thing called was it Cannon something? It was like
that drink presentation looked awesome too. Like how they presented it to you, like in this like case.
Yeah, it was like awesome. Cannonball something. I can't remember what it was called, but like it was like only $25 for 2 drinks, and it came out smoking. I knew you'd like that because it was smoking in like a treasure chest and flashing different colors because it had like little lights under.
Was there a band on the ship?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You said a band, like playing music?
Yeah, like the Wishers were like the band, like on the last sailing, because like, and I know like on the Fantasy you had the Fantastics or something.
Yeah.
So I'm sure like there's like a house band playing around, right?
Yeah, because they would play like sometimes in the Sanctum, which is like the bayou. Like that middle.
I love that space, but I love the bayou on the Wish so much. Yeah,
they play in there. They play in the lobby sometimes. Yeah. It was just,
okay. Did you catch them at all?
Oh yeah. They were good. Yeah. They were really good. And that's the thing is like. We didn't go to the shows because we just went around to these little areas and
that's what we did on our last Wish with like Liz's folks. They didn't want to go to the shows. We just spent more time with like that kind of stuff, which is great. Like that's the beauty about Disney Cruise Line. There's enough to do at any time.
And that was
except go to festival foods.
Yeah, and I don't regret it because that made it so chill because we never had like we were never stressed to try to make it a time. Right. Because we're just like today we're just going to just go around and, we'll get to the Haunted Mansion bar whenever we want. Like it wasn't ever crowded. Like we could get in whenever we wanted. We'll go to DeVille's. We'll go to the Sanctum. We'll go. And we also went to the Hero Zone and we did all the sports. Like we played a game of horse. We played basketball. We played bags a couple times because it was raining for a little bit. We played ping pong. We played air hockey. Like when in the real world we play air hockey. We played trivia a few times, like. We did all the small stuff and we had a good time doing it. Like we had a blast doing the small stuff on this cruise. Like we love that stuff. So fun.
Awesome.
We won TV catchphrase trivia.
Yeah, you won a
that?
couple trivias, man.
Yeah,
Look
I know.
at you.
Can you believe we won catchphrase TV trivia? Me?
I mean, you watch a lot of Pluto TV.
I do. A lot of it was old. Like it was the one. Like people didn't know Norm. Like Norm. People didn't know what that was from. Can you believe that?
See, you had too many young people.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, dude, how do you not know that? Like, come on now. You kidding me? Didn't know Norm. I'm like, how young are these people? What is going on? Anyway, so that's about it. If you have questions, go over to the clubhouse, and Sunday night we'll talk. If you have any specific questions, we can do that. But I'm excited for you to go on the Treasure because I really think they took the Wish is a great ship, right? But the first ship in the class, and then they took all the feedback they got from all those sailings on the Wish, and they really jumped it on the Treasure. And I think with the Destiny, they took even more feedback from the Treasure and increase it on the Destiny. The theming on the Destiny is insane. Like the storytelling on the Destiny, insane.
Oh yeah.
But I like the theme of the Treasure better just because I'm a theme park guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just a great product, and yeah, I'm excited for that. I mean, that's gonna be a 7-night sailing too, which is always awesome.
Yes.
You know, on the
And
Treasure.
that too. I like the Treasure too.
The draw for the Treasure right now.
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
I'd rather go to the Eastern Caribbean for 7 nights too. Let's go.
Let's do it. Come on, Mike. Let's go.
Oh, dude, I want to.
I know.
Senior stuff.
I know.
All right.
Jump past all that.
I know. All right. So we're going to jump out of here. We'll be back together on Sunday night with a live call-in show. So let's talk cruising. Let's talk world. Let's talk Disneyland. Let's talk Run Disney Marathon Weekend coming up in like 2.5 weeks. Oh my gosh. I shouldn't have said that out loud. Too soon. But join us Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch. Give us a call. We'll be talking Disney. We had a lot of calls last weekend. It was a lot of fun. Let's do it again this Sunday night. Don't forget today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure. Remember, Disney Cruise Line costs the same booking with us. We'll give you a great onboard credit to spend however you like. You can do it for tastings, for port adventures, merchandise in the shops, whatever you want. Just don't use it for tips. That's boring. You can, but just don't tell me. But come on over. We'll help you with World Disneyland as well. No additional cost. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link as you do that last minute shopping for this holiday season. BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us on the air. I can't thank you enough for that. You can support us as well, just $5 a month over at Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. And when you do that, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. So we'll see you over there again, Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. You can give me a follow over on Instagram, x.com, and Threads at BeOurGuestMike. Scott's in the same places at EpScott, EPSCOT. But the place you need to be this weekend is Must See Adventures on YouTube. And I told you this on Wednesday. I was going to ask Scott, what's the best retro episode back in the archives? If you want to go back and find a show from days gone by to check out over a chilly weekend. Scott, where would you go back? What episode are you thinking?
So a lot of people love the most viewed one is our day in Olden, Norway, when we did that like 19-day trip in Europe, which we showcased every single day of that trip. So I would say go watch that Olden video if you want to see something like really retro for the Must See Adventure catalog. I will say back then, only using an iPhone, was using editing software that was slower. It's amazing. And I feel like you feel the same way about the podcast, Mike. If you go back to old episodes, you're like, oh man, like I hated the audio or I hated how I did this edit. We just grow as people, right? And get better as things go on. So I will say the editing, not as crisp as it is today, but I'll tell you, it's a fun classic episode. I will say though, just a fun one, another one to watch. Watch our day at Kualoa Ranch. It's like our least viewed Hawaii video, and I don't understand why. Like if you want to know what Jurassic Park is like in real life, that's a fun one to watch too.
And that's the one that has the thumbnail where you're like this, right?
Yes, it has like the dinosaur guy.
Okay,
yes, yeah.
Exactly.
For some reason, that one doesn't get viewed at all. I don't understand why. And we do like a sunset cruise at Alani like that night too. Like, come on, that's an awesome episode.
All right, so go back into the archive. Go to Must See Adventures. Just check out the library. And, check out anything you like. But it's it's a good thing about a YouTube channel. You can just click on a few things, go through there, check them out. They're always there. So enjoy it. Like and subscribe while you're there. So make it a good weekend. All right, we are going to see you on Sunday night, but we just wish you have a great weekend. And thanks for always hanging out with us here on the podcast. Oh, and if you don't mind, if you could, give us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. We'd really appreciate that because, again, we've been doing this so long, sometimes those fall off, and that's how new people find us. And believe it or not, we do have new listeners here and there every once in a while, and we appreciate you guys that have been with us for, over a decade. We appreciate that so much. So thanks for being there. Thanks
Soon
for
it's going to be 2 decades, Mike.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We started this when Mallory was 2 months old. She's great. She's going to turn 18 in 2 weeks. Oh, she keeps telling me that. I'm going to be an adult. I'm like, stop. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you on Sunday night. Have a great weekend. It's over. Scott, I'm Mike. Wishing you a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.